Bollywood actress Priyanka Chopra was trolled yet again on social media, this time over a scene in her American television show Quantico. The latest episode allegedly portrayed some Indian nationalists as terrorists and was not received well by some of the Indian viewers and fans of the show, who later took to Twitter. The episode, which aired on the 1st of June in India, drew flack from the viewers as they targeted the actor for agreeing to act in such an episode, which they feel maligns India's image across the globe. Many users trolled Chopra with the hashtag "Shame on you, Priyanka Chopra," which started trending thereafter. Shayan Sheikh joining me on the phone line. So Shayan, I believe Priyanka Chopra is now heavily trolled on social media once again, this time for the latest episode of Quantico. Tell us more about this particular episode that we're referring to, and is there really anything seriously objectionable in it?
So Priyanka Chopra is once again become the victim of troll online, and this time her American drama show Quantico has landed itself in trouble. So viewers have trouble with one particular scene in this episode where allegedly some Indian nationalists are being portrayed as terrorists. And because of this, she was trolled extensively on Twitter and social media. And this is not the first time she was trolled. Just a couple of months ago, if you remember, she was trolled because of her dress at the Met Gala. And a couple of months before that, she was trolled again for visiting the Rohingya refugee camps, which again drew ire from Twitterati. So she's found herself in trouble yet again, unfortunately.
Right. So Priyanka Chopra, let's remind our viewers, has bagged this role as the protagonist of an American television show. She was initially, showered with praise for making this leap into the Western entertainment industry. But this latest episode has angered many Indians. Now, in this, her character, Shayan, I believe, is a young FBI agent, and she foils a plot by Indian nationalists to carry out a nuclear attack in Manhattan. So, do you think that's the kind of narrative that people have taken an objection to?
Yes, this scene where the city that's in question is Manhattan, some Twitter users are comparing that to Delhi. It's as if Delhi was being bombed by Indian terrorists. They've drawn some vague comparisons between Manhattan and New Delhi and saying that this is appalling and this could never happen anywhere. And Priyanka Chopra deciding to do an episode like this, some are even alleging her of being a hypocrite, of bringing shame to India just for this particular scene in this episode.
So there is a reference, or rather there is an interpretation that those terrorists that the episode shows have Indian credentials. Certain signs and symbols that they are wearing in the episode have raised eyebrows. Komal Nahta joining me now on the phone line. Komal, your view on this, because this is something that is now being widely criticized on Twitter. Priyanka Chopra's appearance in this particular episode that shows a terrorist attack with involvement of Indian nationalists.
I don't think it is fair to accuse Priyanka Chopra of any fault or any wrongdoing, because she's an actor. She doesn't have control over every scene in the film or in the episode. So I think it is ridiculous, and I have noticed the Twitter world is quite a bizarre world. Everybody in this world, or at least a good number of people in this world, wait to jump on others, criticize others. Constructive criticism, still acceptable. This is like criticizing her. So she's written the whole script, she's directed the episode. I mean, what are you trying to arrive at? And then if every actor were to say, give me the entire script, I will not do this, I will not do this, what will they do? How can she be responsible for the episode?
So you are saying basically, Komal Nahta, that this is something that Priyanka Chopra would have absolutely no control over. But, the objection to Priyanka Chopra is that she could have refused to do this scene. Do you think such a thing is possible once somebody has signed a contract or actually becomes part of a deal?
Should she refuse? Why should she refuse? She shouldn't refuse. It's a job and she's doing her job. It's not.
No, given the narrative, that's what people feel, that being an Indian, when you have a situation that Indian nationalists are shown in poor light, the expectation is that she should have put her foot down and said, I'm not going to be part of this scene.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. It's that particular. It's not. They are not generalizing that India is full of terrorists and all that. Nothing like that.
Okay.
It's in that particular episode. It's a make-believe world. It's a make-believe serial. So what? So what? I think it's ridiculous to blame her, to accuse her. Had she written it, they could have pointed fingers. How can you write such a thing, doing an American show and showing Indians in bad light? But if one scene happened to be that, she can't be responsible. Maybe she didn't know. Even if she knew, I'm going 2 steps ahead and saying, even if she knew, so what? So what?
Right, because I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate here. The argument is that this maligns India's image globally, and therefore, as somebody who was very well celebrated in this country, who reached the peak of her popularity because of Indian audience, should not allow anything that comes, as a statement, any negative or derogatory to the Indians.
I'll answer that. Which means, if Priyanka Chopra were to step down, you think that this episode would have been shared, somebody else would have done it. So their argument that India's image is being tarnished, it would have been tarnished whether Priyanka Chopra decided to do the episode or decided not to do the episode.
Yes.
So they don't know what they're talking. India's image would have been tarnished otherwise also. If you think one episode can tarnish India's image, then you are far removed from reality.
The other point, yes, right. Komal Nahta, is that, the whole issue of trolling, Priyanka Chopra has faced it a number of times, and my colleague Shayan just pointed out right before this, she was targeted for visiting a Rohingya camp. Earlier, her outfits are criticized. There was a particular interview with the Prime Minister of India where her outfit was discussed in a very negative manner. So do you think that this is some way a professional hazard as well? I'm just going to bring in Nirali Bhatia also, who is a psychologist. Nirali Bhatia, your first response to something like this, where top actresses face trolling, and in this particular case, a very serious argument is being built that here is a scene that shows India in poor light. Priyanka Chopra had no business to agree to do it.
Yeah, hi. So, could you just repeat the question?
No, I was saying that there are a lot of people now online who believe that if there is a scene in Quantico that does not show India in good light, Priyanka Chopra should have refused to do it, and therefore she's being trolled now online for doing that.
Right. So, see, the point we are drawing over here is that it is very subjective to who does it, what is India not being showing in the right light. For someone it may be different, and for somebody else it may be different. The only hazard over here is that this medium makes it very easy for anybody to lash out at anyone, thinking that anonymity is my guard and nobody can get to me.
Yes.
So it's just a hidden distress that people just vent it out without realizing that yes, they can be traced, and the extremity is not at all kind of calculatable for them.
Right. So you're saying that in the garb of and being anonymous, people take the liberty to just about say anything. So are you looking at it more from the perspective of a female star being trolled than for the actual merit of the arguments? Is that your point?
You can actually say that. The underlying point is always that it's not only female, it could be anyone. So it is, see, whenever we are using internet as a medium or in the cyberspace, most of things that we do and act are always from our own perspective, and it's the snippet of our own life. Because practically or in real, we are not even reaching out to anybody else. So whatever I'm putting is totally what I feel and I think about my own self. I'm going to project it.
Yes. So do you think that it's perhaps, for a person extremely empowering to have this medium to say something directly to the actress and, not face any consequence for it or any penalty for it?
Now, unfortunately, our law system is yet to, get absolutely hands-on over there. It does take time to trace these people, but it's absolutely doable.
Okay.
So that's where I said that people really are still believing that they can be anonymous. Whereas if you look at the cases that have been solved, and there have been, in fact, a lot of other ways also where it has been communicated that it's very easy to track them.
Okay.
Yet they do not stop. So the point over here is that, they take this as their freedom of speech to go ahead and say anything to anyone without really understanding the responsibility that they carry when they want to use that right.
Right, and also people lack a basic understanding, as Komal Nahta was telling us, that here is a professional who has signed up for something. It's simply not possible to one day land up at work and say that, listen, I'm not going to do this scene. It simply doesn't work like that. So there are those compulsions as well. Anyway, I would like to thank Komal Nahta and Nirali Bhatia for joining me with your views this morning.